I'm going to put the remains of that compost in that wheelbarrow, spread it somewhere in the garden, and come back and see if I can get any more compost out of any of the other bins, because I feel like I can shovel today. So that's what I'm going to do for a little while. Just finished lunch. At least until the storm clouds come. Right now they're just big old fluffy clouds. A couple hours from now they're going to be big old storm clouds. That's how the sky does it. You like being outside in the sun? Having a nice time. Sitting up high. Less bugs, not none. But he likes it. Good view too. And I wanted to tell you about my irrigating. It's something I don't talk about a lot, but as an ostomate, and because somebody might at some point want to watch me as relation to that, I bring it up now and then, or I don't know. Anyways, that was what the surgery was for 4 weeks ago, where I went in and got my stoma reconfigured. So to allow me to irrigate again was, for me, the primary complaint. Not being in pain every time it outputs is a real nice perk. I didn't realize it wasn't supposed to hurt. It doesn't even wake me up. I mean, there's no pain. Even knowing what's going on is going to be difficult because there's no pain. The pain was what told me that activity was happening. Anyways, irrigation. First time today. 4 weeks after surgery, and it was... everything went exactly the way it was supposed to go. And go about my life ignoring it. That's freaking fabulous. So Tom's over. Piper's outside. Everyone else is in the house. I primed this chair and got drips all over it. So now I have to sand out the drips, which is no easy task, let me assure you. But once these two chairs are painted, then I can move on to painting more furniture that needs to be painted. These are going to be done in green. Now what I have is I have this bright green here and this pale yellow here. And there's not enough of this to do the chairs. There might be enough of that. Mixed together, there will be enough, and it'll be a much paler green. That's what we're doing today. It's Saturday afternoon, sunny, blue skies, hot. Dan's been puttering about in the bus. I guess there won't be any green at all. I'll have to go back to my paint stocks and see what I've got, because I can't use that. If this one is too, let's find out. I mean, I didn't even open it. It fell off the table and opened itself, so it did not get properly shut the last time it was used. But these are some pretty old cans of paint. Didn't really want yellow chairs. The table's going to be pink. I don't know, pink and yellow is okay, I guess. Yeah! Still liquid. Needs stirring. new schoolyard that was finished this winter by the city. It's alright. I think it's got all the same playthings the old one had. It's much nicer looking. City noises. There's the weather we're anticipating. Coming for ya. Wonder if it'll hit us. Everything about the air at this moment is beautiful. The temperature is in that range where your clothing merely conceals your modesty. It does not need to protect you. There's no wind. All the bugs are going to ground because this big ass storm is coming. The light is soft but bright enough for your eyes, maybe not for the camera. It just has this perfect stillness and peace to it. And then there's the anticipation coming from all that thunder. Are you hearing that? That bass noise? I don't know if the microphone's picking it up. But it's like I live below a bowling alley with like 10 lanes that are, it's league night. There's just no end. I love it. I just love it. See if we can get a look at the clouds, eh? So this is the thing that's making all the noise. Sounds better than it looks. It's Saturday afternoon. Can you guess who's here? Can I film you? Hi, Tom.
Hi.
And we are. Half a tree crashed down on my neighbor's fence. The fence held. They're getting it removed now. I am going to the dealership to get the new tires on my car. Hooray, hooray, hooray. The time to go is today. In fact, I gotta get going pretty much right away. It's not much more rhyming I can say. This is the smile you get when somebody's insult is inadvertently complimentary. I have this troll in a YouTube comment field trying to insult me by calling me androgynous. This is the smile you get when somebody's insult is actually the best compliment you've had in a long time. But he's trolling me in a comment field somewhere else. A transgender TED Talk. This guy is calling me an androgynous amoeba, and I've always been a girly girl. I was always, I could dress fully in male clothing and I just looked cute. I'd tie my hair back, I'd put on like a full suit. All girl, honey. Oh, how elegant. All girl, 100%. This guy's calling me androgynous. I never thought even that was possible, that I could possibly pull off androgynous, that you should present as deeply into your gender as you are physically capable of, and if you do it well enough, you will get praise and you will get advantages, and if you don't do it well enough, you will be scolded, punished, abused, harassed, and assaulted. The worse you do it, the more the punishment you will receive. And so to people who choose to transition because they do have the wrong gender brain for the body they're in, they receive a lot of approbation, aka abuse, on the full spectrum, right to murder and the foulest tortures. Some really nasty things are done to people for not presenting correctly for the gender of their body. You see, your body is one gender, your brain is another gender, and if you're lucky, they both happen to be the same gender, or close enough that it's comfortable. But if you're unlucky, you spend that time playing a masquerade, being a poor copy of what everyone expects you to be. It's Wednesday, the 30th of May. We've been getting thunder showers, and we got more coming in. I had a look at the radar, and that thing is bigger than the city. We're gonna get hit this time. After it's done, I'm gonna go run errands, but for right now, I get to enjoy this very black sky. Can you tell how black it is? The rain's only just beginning. It's almost greenish in spots. Now, when it gets genuinely greenish, when it's so thick and heavy that it actually changes the color of the cloud to look like water, that's when it has enough power to drop tornadoes. As far as I know, Saskatoon has never been hit by a valid tornado, although we did get one really wicked wind once, which I remember when it hit the house, I actually felt the whole house seemed to rebound from it. And yeah, that was crazy, and it took out a lot of things around the city. This is a very sheltered yard. These beautiful, wonderful trees, they don't just shade me. They stop the wind. They are rooted deep in the earth, and their trunks are beams strong enough to hold back the sky. And because of these beautiful things, my house has remained strong. It's one of the reasons that I want to find somebody who won't kill the trees when they buy the place, when the time comes to leave. Here you can see the marks in the sidewalk that I made when I used the pressure washer. I cleaned the whole house with a pressure washer. There was a lot of dirt on this house. Now it's not. Didn't clean the back of this door though. Like, oops. But I cleaned out here. Look at the difference. Look at that. See? And I cleaned the trailer. And I cleaned the front of the house. Yeah. Okay, the sky is getting that color. This leading edge of cloud that's twirling fast That's where a tornado could form. We could be watching one form, for that matter, which is kind of scary, really. It's the right color sky. There's a ton of rain behind it, and it continues off that way, but the trees kind of interfere. But let's watch and see what this curl of cloud is up to. Look at how fast it's moving. This is not a time lapse. That is exactly the kind of thing that turns into a tornado. Wow. Well, I don't really care if a tornado hits me and throws me up in the air. It'll be an adventure, and if it kills me, my worries are over. If it doesn't, it's an adventure. Wow. Well, it's not going to make a tornado, but I can sure feel the cold. The temperature has changed. And down at the end of the street, it's getting dusty and cloudy as the wind picks up. So there's a massive rain coming, and it's pushing the air in front of it, creating this insane amount of wind. All right. I'm ready to go inside. Kinda. Don't really want to. I'm goofy that way. But I'm cold in there. Things are hitting my face. Oh yeah, the weather's getting good. I like it. Guys, keep me dry, even in the worst rains. But I am getting cold. For all I want to record the storm. Well, I love a good storm. Wow, it's getting so dark. And that cloud up there. Look at that incredible cloud up there. Oh, the wind. I moved back here where I'm sheltered from the onslaught because the wind is coming from the direction of the spruce trees there. So they're sheltering my whole yard to make it more comfortable for me back here. The thing, the clouds move so fast you don't need time lapse to see the activity. It's starting to rain now. Just a little, just a few fat drops. Oh, here it comes. Look at that color. It doesn't show it on the camera, but that color is almost green. You may call it crazy, but I call it joy. This is why I'm being so dramatic about the weather right now. See that, Saskatoon? That purple dot right that there is what's overhead and about to hit. That's the rain that's pushing that wind. And look at the folks down in Davidson. They are in for another ass kicking. They get so much weather down there. Let's see if we can get the play button working. There, that's the last 3 hours. See how fast it came up and grew? Yeah. That's crazy. It was sunny this morning. I'll find enough rain that I will not need to water Tom's garden. So I want to show you something, a peculiar phenomenon. Now, I live in this dot, and this is the storm that's been approaching us. As I showed you, it looked pretty intense. We were looking at this part here. But as it does approach Saskatoon, you'll notice right here, the clouds split apart on either side of the river valley, just as they hit Saskatoon. And the result of this is that we actually didn't get much rain at all. See? No hail, no rain. It's going around us. And I'm willing to bet in the next hour that final bit that you see at the end here, this here is going to split apart right through here, right over top of us. Now my theory about that is that because the prairies are very flat and our city is mostly still parked in the river valley, like the hottest part, the downtown, the asphalt, the air conditioning, the machinery is all nestled in a fairly wide river valley. And then there's a secondary wide river valley outside the limits of the city as well, because the river used to be much bigger back in, when the glaciers were melting. Consequently, it is my theory that the air from the city, like Los Angeles smog, we get inversion layers, where the air of the city sits on the city like a bubble, like a soap bubble. And when the storm comes across the soap bubble, it behaves like water around a boulder in a stream. And unless there is enough water to completely overwhelm that boulder, in this case, the atmosphere of the city, it will simply split around it. And I have noticed almost universally, it's extremely, incredibly rare for a storm to hit dead smack into the city and not break up and split apart as it approaches the city. So that's my theory about thunderstorms and why I miss out on some of the really wild stuff. It rained a little. You saw the worst of it. Now it's still again. We'll probably get a trailing edge of rain, but I'm willing to bet that thing is going to split. I like storms. I like weather. It is a fascination of mine. I like to track hurricanes too, but I feel less okay with that because tracking hurricanes is kind of waiting for somebody's disaster to happen and being excited about it. So I have a little bit of a moral issue with enjoying hurricanes. But thunderstorms like this, that's okay. Storm splits around the city every time. You get a little bit of rain, but you don't get what the surrounding areas get. Isn't that wild? I tried asking some meteorologists about it. I wrote the Government of Canada's Meteorology Department, or the people involved with this, and said, hey, have you noticed this? What do you think about it? One of those answers where they make it sound like they read what you said, but they really actually just glanced over to see what the topic was, and then wrote a dismissive response because they're required to answer your letter, not because they actually paid any attention or thought about it. I was disappointed, but